and welcome back to our session. So last week we did the assessment. We asked you to come back to bring an issue or something that's really happened to you this last week that would be stressing you.
Okay.
So, do you have anything this past week that you feel has weighed you down or that's been stressful that you want to address today?
Yes. My fourth child, Rachel, and she's married to Jake, and they have a 3-year-old named Molly. And Jake hasn't kept a job for the last 2.5 years for more than a few months at a time. So Rachel has decided she got a job, full-time job, or actually it's a part-time job, but she works a lot of hours. So he stays home with Molly, and he's not a good stay-home dad. He just puts her in front of the TV, and then she cries, and Rachel comes home and still has to do everything because he doesn't do any of the housework either. And so it's very frustrating and heartbreaking to hear it all. I hear it on her sounding board, and so I try not to let it get to me. I've done this for many years with this child in many instances, and so this is starting to affect me and how I feel about him. And she's always asking for advice, but she's an adult married child, so I could give her some guidance, but I just get frustrated.
Absolutely. So it's hard because you have that connection as the mother, but she's also coming to you not looking for your emotional connection to it. She's saying, I need suggestions and help here.
She needs a sounding, she needs to unload, and she's really good at unloading. It's taken me many years not to let it affect me emotionally, but you know, this is a whole nother dynamic in this phase of her life.
How does that, the incorporation of now it's not just your daughter, it's your grandchild too that's
right, and Molly's 3, and the first 4 years of their lives are the pattern making, and that's how they develop the best, and here she is sitting in front of TV and crying half of the day. And it's so heartbreaking for me, and I live in Texas and she lives in Utah.
So you have this distant gap too of mostly you could be that person that comes in and helps, but
You're right,
you just can't. Absolutely. So you said this has been something that's recently happened in about the last 2 years. It's kind of been escalating for 2 years leading up to where they're at now.
Yes.
Prior to that, how long were they married? How long have they been married?
Let's see, Molly's 3,
Yep.
so just under 3 years.
Okay, perfect. So they got Molly, and then they're married.
He proposed. They found out she was pregnant. They lived together. He proposed. Then after he proposed, then they found out she was pregnant. So then they got married a month later, so she wasn't showing when they got married further down the line, and then they had Molly. So it's not the life she planned. She hadn't planned on having a baby. She wanted to experience a married couple life, but she made choices that brought her to where she wasn't. She knows that, but she feels like she's in this big cycle of overwhelming cycle, and there's no end.
And so they were married. They've only been married for 3 years, and you put a baby right at the beginning of that marriage.
Absolutely.
And so then before they're married, how long were the couple together?
About a year.
About a year. So they're still pretty new and
And
trying to
he's
figure
5
each other
years younger than she is.
out. Okay.
She's
That
28.
That's as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What kind of support is he getting from his family?
His family are, they're very wealthy and did everything for him and continue to do much for him. He's never had to work. I mean, he's gone to work, but he's never had to provide. And so, I mean, they've given him a house, and when he wasn't working, they just pay the payment. And they said, if you ever sell it, you get all the equity for him not working. And so they scrape by, and it's just very, very
difficult. So in that relationship, the support the parents feel like they're helping is meeting the immediate financial need.
The parents are enabling his bad behavior, is my opinion.
Are they supportive at all in the
They help
relationship?
take care. No, they've told her from the very beginning that she shouldn't have married him in the first place.
Okay.
They should have placed Molly for adoption. They, from the very beginning, they've not appreciated the relationship that they have.
Okay.
And over time, they've come to accept that they're not splitting up. They're staying, they want to work it out. They've actually gone to counseling a little bit in the past.
So they've sought out tools in the
They
past.
have. They found some really good tools that they use, but he still gets into this game. He's a gamer and ignores everything else. He escapes into his games, and Rachel's trying to hold it all together.
Absolutely.
So my role is actually sounding board, and now and again I'll send her $25 or, you know,
Right.
but I don't financially provide for their needs.
Right, they learned that the breadwinner is
They're-
now the in-laws, but that's only worked up to a point.
Right, right. So now the latest is that he got a temporary job, and she's working part-time too, but they only have one car, and who's gonna take care of Molly? She says, do I quit my job and let him be the breadwinner? But that hasn't been successful in the past. She really needs to she needs to get out. She has to be mentally able to cope with life. She has to be away and build her own confidence.
Right.
Working has helped her be better, a better mom, a better
Absolutely.
wife. This is her.
And it removes her from the situation of constantly having to face, because when she's home, she's seeing everything that's lacking.
Exactly.
When she's out, it takes her mind off of it, but it's not changing what's happening in the home.
Right.
Are you seeing her feeling a stench of bitterness? What kind of feelings is she having toward the husband at this point? Now, she's getting out, getting positive reinforcement here when she comes home.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. She has meltdowns, what we call meltdowns. She'll just burst into tears. She keeps it all in.
And so then it hits her so.
It hits her so hard and so fast, she'll just melt down. I mean, she'll just cry and cry and cry, and nothing can console her.
When was the last time that they had counseling that you know of?
Oh, it's been about a year.
So we've seen it's about a year ago, and then I'm assuming did he lose his job after the counseling?
Uh-huh.
This is a new life change.
Another, yeah.
It is now really financially weighing down on them.
Oh, yeah, it has been all year. He lost his job in January.
They haven't gone to counseling since this major episode.
Mm-mm.
How would you see, because it sounds like, is his parents in the same town or close by?
They're close by.
Have
20
they
minutes.
been able to develop a relationship with the grandchild?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're providing some relief there as far as
Yes.
showing love and nurturing,
Mhm.
trying to role model. Because definitely you see both have had a role change, and they're probably both going. Her inner desires is to be a mom, but she can't fully meet the daily needs.
Right.
Sounds like they need to work on that communication, get counseling again, if that were a possibility,
Yeah.
and get access to those resources. So for you, it sounds like one really strong point you've already done, which is wonderful. You've set some healthy boundaries.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are some of those healthy boundaries? I've identified a couple, but I want to see what you've.
My healthy boundaries is I will tell her to stop, and she listens, because she basically vomits all over me with her words and what she's going through, okay? And I can only handle so much at a time. I have my own other things that I need to do, and so I will allow her to do it for a period of time. It's okay, Rachel, you're done. Okay, thanks, Mom. So we've got to that point, but we've been working on this for 15 years.
Perfect. And then she can ramble and it just keeps
Yeah.
going. Okay.
Another thing, she knows that I love her no matter what.
Definitely.
She knows it as deep as she can go. She knows that, and I feel like that's a boundary, because she understands that. She could do the worst thing in the entire world, and I would still love her. She knows I wouldn't approve of something, or I would not like what she did, but I will always love her.
That always brings her back to.
It puts her right back to grounding.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can see that you also set some healthy boundaries financially.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of situationally based, but
Yeah.
you're not you're not removing their decisions. You're not removing their ability to come together. That
Right.
they're still letting them. They've got to figure it out.
They have to figure it out. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with her, and she's telling me, oh, I don't have enough money for food this week, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, okay, I know you have food in the freezer. You told me about this, and I know you have this. It's not it's just, she's saying she wants quick and easy versus having to prepare.
Yes.
So she has food in the house, but she doesn't want to take the time to prepare because she's tired.
Absolutely.
So,
Definitely. So that is communication. A lot of things you can put back into their ballpark. As you said, right now, do they have any other couples, friends, any other support group outside of the parents that they're using as soundboards?
no.
And does he have support or a relationship with his parents, or is it just a money source? Can
No,
you
he
soundboard for
talks
him?
to his parents, but he's not close. He's very angry and bitter towards being raised a certain way, and so
He doesn't feel safe being able to talk to him fully.
Yeah, he's
his
not
daily.
able to open up to his family. He opens up to Rachel, but it's dragging it out of him.
Oh, absolutely. Checking here. Perfect. We're at 10 minutes.
Okay.
But there's so much good meat here that I'm going, oh, I love it. So I want to, of course, thank you because you know why we're doing the video.
Right.
But you really brought some really good concerns. And I can definitely see that there is actually a love for him. That you can see potential in him.
Absolutely.
He just lacks a lot of tools of parenting, lacks a lot of tools of relationship, and maybe deep down it's more his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of great opportunities for growth there.
Absolutely.
But it's in his ballpark. So it's neat that you're able to still maintain that love amidst the daily frustrations of
Mm-hmm.
what's happening. So very commendable.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Aaron.